Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and thought I would sit down and answer a question that many of my haters ask all the time in my comments. Sip of water, my voice ready. You guys, a forearm shot. And let's talk about this. So, I tell you guys in general, our diet should be built around large amounts of vegetables and lean animal proteins as the foundation of our diet. And this is my general nutrition advice, and I tell people we should count calories according to our goals. And then, and eat mostly whole foods, right? And I always have people who come in and say, my detractors who hate me, why should we listen to nutrition advice from a guy who looks like a molten candle from losing 100 pounds of body fat? Well, it's a good question. It's a great question. Why should you get nutrition advice from someone who doesn't look like an aesthetic god on the cover of a magazine? Not because they're not jacked or lean, but because they have a bunch of loose skin from losing over 100 pounds of body fat. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that because I have lost over 100 pounds of body fat, something that the average person struggles to do, I probably know a couple things. I know it sounds crazy, it sounds insane that a person who coaches full-time, who when younger successfully lost over 100 pounds of body fat. That's like 50 kilos for people who don't use freedom units. 50 kilograms of fat. It sounds crazy that person might have learned a couple of things about fat loss along the way. I know it's a stretch. Hard for people to believe. It must be a lie. There's no way I could have learned anything about nutrition while losing that sort of weight. It's not possible. How about the fact that I have also, while being lean enough to see my abs now, let's talk about this year. I won't even go into previous years because I'm 46. I turned 47 this month. Okay. At the age of 46, while being at a healthy lean body fat, you guys have seen me deadlift 605 pounds without a belt, with no belt. You watched me bench press 365 with calibrated plates for a 2-second pause on my chest, flat-footed, heels flat, on camera. I broke state records in 2 weight classes and multiple lifts in the USPA in powerlifting last year, the 90 kilo for my age class and the 100 kilo, and I qualified for the world championship in a strength sport. I successfully did a water cut on camera where you guys watched me drop 23 pounds of water weight to make a weight class. Documented it all on Instagram. I was walking around at 220. I weighed in at 197 for the weigh-in. I was 220 a couple days before. I dropped 23 pounds of water successfully within 48 hours. To make weight, the weight is documented in sanctioned competition, the weigh-in. Okay? I'm going to say I probably know a couple things about sports nutrition. Maybe not the best expert. Maybe not number one in the world. But I think based upon these things, plus you guys have seen some of my client transformation. I have clients who are winning, clients going to worlds. You've seen some of my client transformations where I have clients who are ripped, right? Who do look aesthetic. I've put quite a few up on social media. Some of them have even been admitted clients of mine. They're admitting on their real accounts. They're my clients. I think I know a couple things. So when I say things like, I think our diet should be rich in both vegetables and lean animal proteins, that should be the foundations of our diet, and then we build off of that. Maybe I know what I'm talking about. Because of the person who looks like a melted candle, who people like to make flesh golem memes about, right? Is a way to mock me. One of the types of memes they like to make. Of course, they like to Photoshop all this stuff. Photoshop his arms smaller, Photoshop his fat more, so let's make him look even worse. So the person who looks like a molten candle wax, who's lost over 100 pounds of fat and is at a lean athletic body fat and putting up elite numbers on lifts, because my deadlifts are not elite for my age, they're elite for any age. It means my nutrition's probably pretty on point for that. To be doing that while lean enough to have visible abs in my late 40s, I think that's decent. So again, why should you listen to anything this person says about nutrition? Because they clearly know what they're talking about. Again, am I the leading expert by any means? No, of course not. But to really stand there and pretend that I don't have knowledge and experience about nutrition as it pertains to fat loss, as it pertains to getting really strong in a weight class, so therefore the body composition side, the recovery side, as it pertains to health, because again, I am someone who's documented history of family medical issues on both sides. I have pretty good health markers, pretty good blood work for a dude closing in on 50. I think my nutrition's probably pretty reasonable. You know what? I think my chicken breast and broccoli and Greek yogurt and peppers and spinach and all that stuff that I eat, and then of course you guys see different points where I'm either eating healthy carbs or healthy fats thrown in. You know what? I think it's working pretty good. So yes, I think you should listen to my nutrition advice if you are not already an expert who has a vast knowledge to draw from of your own. I think I've got some pretty reasonable advice that we should be eating lots of vegetables. Most of us could stand to get more fiber in our diets. Most of us could stand to eat more fruits and vegetables. Lean proteins are really good. Tracking your calories is really good. Building your diet around mostly whole foods is a good idea. And stating that you should probably eat more calories when you want to gain weight, and you should probably reduce your calories when you want to lose weight. We should maybe keep up with our diet, look for certain general deficiencies, try to eat a fairly balanced diet. Yeah, I think that you should totally listen to me. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. I'll talk to you guys next time.